welcome to the deep dive. We're looking at a fascinatingly complex weather forecast across North America for November 19th through the 28th.
It really is. The mission today is to give you the cheat sheet on a continent basically split in half by the atmosphere.
On one side, you've got the West getting absolutely hammered by what we call a deep digging trough.
Which just means cold, deep, low pressure. And on the other side, the East is just, stuck under a warm, high-pressure ridge.
And the engine driving all that chaos in the West is the term I'm sure you've been hearing. A powerful atmospheric river.
A classic Pineapple Express configuration, yep. It's funneling this huge plume of tropical moisture straight inland.
So what's the real consequence of that setup? It's not just rain, is it?
No, not at all. You get these incredibly heavy rainfall rates, but they are crashing right into much colder air that's dropping out of the Gulf of Alaska.
So you have a collision.
A major collision. It means you have a severe flood risk in the lowlands, but as you go up into the Sierra Nevada, the snow levels are dropping so fast it becomes a management nightmare.
You don't know if it's going to run off immediately as rain or get stored as snow.
Exactly, and that's a huge problem.
Okay, so let's get specific. There's a really acute flash flood risk focused on the desert Southwest. We're talking western Arizona, places like Mojave and Yavapai counties.
Right, and in the desert, that kind of rain can be catastrophic.
So why there? Why is that specific area so vulnerable right now?
It all comes down to a process called backbuilding, and that's really the key danger here.
A backbuilding?
Yeah, think of it like a conveyor belt of thunderstorms. A new storm cell just keeps forming on the upwind side over and over.
So the whole system just stays parked over one area, training over the same spot for hours.
It's a perfect description, and because of that, you could see localized totals easily top 2 inches. In that high desert context, that's deadly.
Because the soil can't absorb it.
Not at all. We call it hydrophobic. It literally repels the water, so it all runs instantly into slot canyons and washes. You get instantaneous, life-threatening flash floods.
And as we move up in elevation, the hazard changes completely. The Sierra is under a major winter storm warning.
We are talking 12 to 18 inches of heavy, wet snow above 9,000 feet, which is bad enough.
But then you add the wind.
You add 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts over the ridgetops. That combination means one thing: whiteout conditions.
So passes like Donner and Sonora.
Impossible. They're going to be completely shut down.
Okay, let's pull back from the meteorology for just a second. There is a really unique operational challenge happening right over the border in Canada.
Yeah, this is a fascinating non-weather complication. On November 19th, Canada is doing its mandatory nationwide test of the Alert Ready system.
Their public alerting system.
Exactly, and the test coincides precisely with all this active weather.
That's a huge conflict.
It's a major conflict. You have real active warnings for coastal flooding in BC and freezing rain in Ontario and Quebec going out at the same time as a scheduled test.
So the challenge is making sure people don't just ignore the real alert, thinking it's only the test.
It's a massive communications hurdle for emergency management.
Wow. Okay, so looking ahead, what does this all mean for Thanksgiving travel, say, November 24th to the 28th? The Climate Prediction Center is pointing to a clear temperature dipole.
That's right. That warm east, cold west divide holds firm. The east is under that ridge, which is actually pretty favorable for travel along, the I-95 corridor.
But the west is a different story.
Very different. We see an Arctic block developing, which will force a surge of really cold air deep into the west.
So the final travel risk is where those two different air masses meet, right? As that Arctic air moves late in the week across the plains.
That is the big one. The risk is a flash freeze. Any roads that are wet from rain or earlier snowmelt can just instantly turn to ice.
Black ice.
Black ice. A very dangerous, rapid shift from just wet roads to a sheet of ice with very little warning for drivers.
So if we tie this all together, these storms are bringing some desperately needed relief to the Rockies.
For now, yes. But here's the thought to leave you with. This active pattern, especially for Northern California, looks like it could persist. We could see more of these atmospheric rivers in December, maybe January. So you have to ask, what does that imply for the long-term cycle of water management and, flood control for the entire West?